job security, job longevity, and jobs in demand are the first step into having a quality of life. I believe God called me to get my foot in the door and have an experience to work in a hospital and understand the healthcare field that is around me, involving nurses, different types of doctors, different types of jobs within the hospital, and how it could be like working in the hospital overall. Because genuinely speaking, I'm interested in working in the healthcare field. I never had the thought originally being a physical therapist assistant or being a dental hygienist or being a radiologist. I never had that thought. The thoughts that I had when I was a lot younger was I wanted to work for Marvel Comics. I'm very good at drawing, and I thought my art was going to take me somewhere, but I realized it's too much work. And part of my motivation and reason that I kind of went down a different route going to the healthcare field is because I got kids and I have responsibilities and I want to make them the money now. See, the job that I first mentioned could be like a side hustle or a side gig, because once my career is in order and is in check, I got all the things that I want. I got the quality of life and job security that I'm looking for and what I worked for. Then I can think about going back to art. But my art is going to be more like a hobby, just to draw, just as a hobbyist. Okay? But I'll save that for another video, maybe in the future, or maybe I might never do it. But going forward to this video, the reason why most people a lot of the times fail in life having a dead-end job and settling is because a lot of them are very lazy and they believe that they can't make a lot of money and they just gave up. I have been working with adults, grown men and grown women that are in their 50s, pushing 60s, going on their 70s, in their 70s, in a dead-end job. People may say that it's sad. It is. But times, they change. The money that they made back then working at a regular 9-to-5 job was enough for them to get by. But now, they're probably like, you know what? I'm at the point in my life where I'm going to retire soon. I don't have the physical ability or brain power or time to focus on getting a degree or getting a career. It's too late. So that's understandable. And they probably did not have access to the resources, or nobody didn't taught them the gig and the real meaning behind having an actual career where you can make a lot of money. You may want to be a manager or CEO at one retail job, but what's the price and what's the cost? Your time. Take your time to put in the work. Look for a job that works for you, that has job security and is in demand. That is the key to having a successful career where there's job security, job longevity, and a higher quality of life. When you have a career that you're proud of, you flex it like you have nothing to hide. You have the money. You have the resources, nice house, nice cars, food and shelter, clothes behind your back. You're able to do more for your kids, depending on if you have kids. If you're married, you could do more for your wife and your children. It is even attractive to a lot of women that wants a husband when a man has himself together, because that is a sign that he is a husband. He has husband status, husband material, hubby material. As long as he has a career that can sustain his needs and can take care of his wife and his kids, he has his own place, has his own car. There is security. So I'm not hating on women that wants a husband. It is normal for a woman to still stay with her parents until she finds a husband. Because once she finds a husband, the reason why with vows, and when the son-in-law, before he's the son-in-law, the reason why he has to ask the father his daughter hand in marriage is because that son-in-law is taking on the responsibility as a father, as a caregiver, to take care of his wife, make her feel comfortable enough to be a nurturing mother in a comfortable environment. A woman should not have to worry about, oh my gosh, my husband's finances. And it all boils down to where you live. So don't give me that excuse where, oh, the times that we live in, the economy. I don't want to hear none of that. It is possible for one man to have a career in any part of the United States where the cost of living is not so high. And depending on the career that you go for. Okay? See, states like California, New York City, New Jersey, right? That has a higher tax rate and a higher cost of living. One person has to at least make over $100,000 a year. Or both partners has to make a combined income of over $100,000 a year just to get by in California in certain parts. It depends on your goal, what your plans are. If you're going to plan to rent and in a small space in a safe area, as long as you have a plan on getting a house outside of the city, you should be fine, because I've seen the prices on the average cost of houses outside of the Los Angeles city of California. When people talk about California, the first thing that pops up in their head, one of the first things is Los Angeles or Chicago. I'm not talking about living in a major city and getting a house in a major city. I'm talking about getting a house outside of the cities within the same county, because my plan, for example, is to get a house in Los Angeles County, because there is a lot of houses with attractive prices that is in an affordable range. I know how to do my research on the area, how the school system is, because I'm thinking about my kids, and I'm thinking about how far is it going to be as a commute for me going to work to going home. Because truth be told, I've met people, new people who travel over an hour or less, and more so around an hour, to go to work, to go home, vice versa. And they made a lot of money. As long as they have a peace of mind, they have that quality of life, they have that career that they're proud of, that's all that matters. They thought longevity, they thought long term. See, a short-term thinker is a lazy thinker. They're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about what can happen tomorrow. They're not thinking outside the box. So many people are so negative. I see so many videos in the past and currently still of people complaining like, oh, I live in New York City, I have this career, and I'm still not able to make it. Maybe you need to downsize. Maybe you need to cut the costs on eating out so much. How is their budget like? You're making $100,000 a year, $80,000 a year. Your rent may be $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Do the math. You are able to make it. You probably, with all the costs and everything that I've mentioned, right? You should at least, on $80,000 to $100,000, on a $2,000 to $3,000 rent, you should at least have $1,000 to $2,000 in your pocket after paying all your expenses and all your bills. You know how far $1,000 to $2,000 could get you after you take your bills and your rent, car payments, etc.? need to stock on stuff, you could stock on more stuff. You have expandable income. People need to understand how to calculate, how to play the game. When you understand how the game works, how the world works, you understand finances, you calculate your finances, you calculate the career's finances on how much does this career pay in this area, in this city? How much does this career pay in this state on average? That's when you could decide, okay, I'm gonna go for this career. If one career don't work out, go for another one right away. I'm 30 years old. I'm in my early 30s, and I now finally figured out what I wanted to do as a long-term career. I now figured out what I want to do for a long-term security job, a job of long-term security. It's a long-term career. I can make a decent amount of money, and I can aim higher, so I can have a better, secure quality of life. Because when you have a career, you could go anywhere else within the United States with that same career and still be expected to make a certain amount of money depending on the area. You're still able to make a decent amount of money, okay? Where you have expandable income after taking care of your food, your mortgage payments, rent, everything. That's where the job security comes in. When you work at a retail job like Walmart or Family Dollar, you work at McDonald's, that's not job security. The amount of money that you can make there, all those skills, the experience may be transferable, but you're still stuck making the exact same amount of money. You're in a cycle of being a minimum wage worker because you don't have the certifications or the drive to look outside of your job, of your job bracket. There's a lot of lazy people that makes the excuse, oh, I don't have enough time. What if this doesn't happen? What if? Just negative, man. This is negative. It goes in and out of my ears whenever I have a conversation with a negative person. This is why I like positive talk, positive people, being around positive people. It's the way to go. If you're a negative person, I'm trying to do my thing. I'm trying to grind so I can make it. I'm not gonna want you around me. I'm not. Sly Jones said it best. Even though he hasn't uploaded videos in about 4 to 5 years already, he said it best in one of his videos. When you're at a certain age, past 30, 40 years old, people are gonna start asking, what do you do for a living? You ever notice that? The reason why people start questioning what you do for a living when you're about the age 30, 40 years old is because they're expecting you to have yourself together, especially when they have themselves together. You ever notice if you was to tell them that, oh, I work as a cashier at a Starbucks, you know how they're gonna react? Ooh, they're just gonna be nice and they're not gonna want to talk to you. That's the end of that conversation. But if you was to tell them that, oh, I'm an accountant at such and such, I'm a physical therapist, I'm a nurse, RN, I'm a chiropractor, whatever, I'm a plumber, I'm a city bus driver. Even blue-collar jobs that has longevity demand, where a stream of money could keep coming in and you're getting paid over $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, you're straight for life because there's longevity. You don't have to worry about, 2 weeks vacation. You don't gotta worry about that PTO crap. When you have a career that you're proud of and you're making a lot of money, you could afford going on vacation for longer than 2 weeks you have the accessibility to. Because like lawyers and doctors, you ever wonder why there's a lot of nurses that has the availability to go on vacation maybe once or twice a year? You ever wonder why? They have the access to it. When you have a career, you have the access to so many things. It's like a VIP lounge. You have VIP access to not only a long-term career where you can make a lot of money. There's job security where you don't have to worry about losing your job completely, or your skills, or the amount of pay that you're getting paid. You have the long term. You have the availability, the flexibility to be able to do more, because you have now you have the access to be able to do a lot more in life. You're able to travel to Taiwan, Japan, wherever you want to go, all because you have a career. You're doing a 9-to-5 job where you're barely making much money. It's chump change. It works for some people depending on where you live, but how many jobs do you have to do? Is it worth having 2 to 3 jobs just to make as much as a teacher or a nurse that's working maybe 3 days a week, 12 hours a day, and they have 4 days off? I'm pretty sure plumbers, they have many days off too. When you have a career that you're proud of, you have more time off as well. People are so lazy today, a lot of the times. Not all, but a lot of people out here is an essential worker. I work in a hospital and I'm an essential worker. Majority of people at the hospital that I work at is not a nurse. So what does that tell you? Everybody around me, majority of the people in the hospital, it's like a pyramid bracket. You have the essential workers, which is 90% of the workforce. No, you have the essential workers, which is about 70% of the workforce. You go up the pyramid, you have the nurses. You go up the pyramid, you have the doctors. Okay? There's the essential workers, the nurses, depending on the nurse, and you have the doctors depending on the doctors. Okay? It's like a pyramid bracket. From lowest to highest. People will respect you more when you have a career that you're proud of, even if, it's a blue-collar job. It's a career. Who cares? There's long-term longevity. You're making a lot of money, and a real woman or a real wife would value any man that actually has himself together. He has a career. As long as he's making a lot of money, he has a career that he's proud of, he's able to take care of her as he take care of himself and the kids. It is very attractive. It shows that he is responsible and he is a man. Any woman is capable of being feminine, submissive to a man that has himself together. Especially he has the drive and the vision to have himself together. I have the drive and vision to have myself together because I'm not quitting, I'm not a quitter, and I'm not going to give up. I don't give up. Giving up is a choice. It's an option, and it's a choice. And the choice is all on you. You want to work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life? That's on you. You're not going to get very far like that. You can't. What is 2 weeks vacation? It feels like you have a lot more against you. You don't have so much access outside of your home. You have a lot against you. You feel stuck. Even where you're at, right? It's where you're at. Work your way to get out of that and to do better. I told one of my supervisors recently that I'm going to school to be a physical therapist assistant. I just told her for short, physical therapist. Okay? And she said you could do it. You could do it. Anybody can make it. Anybody can. You have the access and you have the time, you can. I can't speak out for everybody because I don't know everyone's situation. Just like what I brought up in the beginning of the video, there's some people that are just not there anymore and it's too late. They're past 50, 67 years old. It's too late. You don't want to be that woman or you don't want to be that man. You don't. It is not a good thing. You want to be able to take care of yourself. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to just enjoy what life has to offer. Enjoy God's green earth. You have one life. Why don't you make the use out of it instead of stagnating and just existing? Don't worry about what the next man is doing or what this person is doing. Worry about yourself. You're the one that has to pay the bills. You're the one that wants to make it in life. You're the one that wants that career. Those are the people that are jealous of you and people who are insecure. That's their own problem because they're not happy with themselves. So many people in my family called me out, think I was not going to make it, said I didn't like school, and look where I'm at. I got my GED. I got my own place. I drive my own car. Even though I don't have a career, I could do more and I could do better. My wife is in school to be a nurse. I'm in school to be a physical therapist assistant. We both want a change in the future. Things can happen, plans can change, but our drive, our motivation, and the race should not change. It shouldn't, okay? All I'm saying is that go for a career with longevity, with job security, where you know the job is in demand. Just as an example, doctors, nurses, lawyers, depending on, with lawyers, I don't recommend it in my opinion because it's more commission based. So I would recommend job security within the healthcare field, job security within the plumbing field. You could get job security in many blue collar working jobs. You have to do your research, see how much the states is paying for them in average. And me personally speaking, why I recommend the healthcare field, in my personal opinion, is the fact that there's always going to be a lot of job availability and job security 24/7. You could go anywhere being an RN. That's the beauty of being a registered nurse or just having a job in the healthcare field. A dental hygienist, radiologist, physical therapist, a dentist. You could go anywhere with those careers and you could still make a lot of money because you have the license, you have the certifications, and it shows a lot of time, dedication, and you worked for it. And you deserve it too. There's a difference between having an essential job and a career. Longevity, money, VIP access, a better, higher quality of life. Casual Talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.